And hello, folks. I'm Tom Vicka here in the Weather Center. I'm going to have a long weathercast here for you. Sorry to keep you a little bit. A lot of folks want to know information on a possible tropical influence, and yes, we will have some, I think, here in CenLA. But right now, we're looking outdoors. CenLA Broadcasting's tower cam there on Texas Street in Alexandria is showing a partly cloudy sky, a good bit of high clouds, and that is from the tropical system setting in the northeastern Gulf of Mexico there. A few cumulus clouds popping up, but they're very small. Not going to be any rain out of this stuff today. All right, so let's go to our next cam over in Gina. See a little bit more puffy cloudiness over in that direction. So we'll call that partly cloudy there for our friends in LaSalle Parish. Looking at your headlines, tropical influence in CenLA starts tomorrow. So that is what I'll focus on for the rest of this weathercast. So let's go into some numbers and radar here. Looking at the rain to the east of us, notice it's pushing west and southwest with this parent system. Nothing here in central Louisiana. I think you're safe this evening. No rain or anything like that coming at us. But the influence does start tomorrow. Looking at a larger scale with the satellite imagery attached to this, there's a little bit of a surface low, and it is offshore. Not by much, but it is offshore, which is important that it can maybe take advantage of the Gulf waters, which are warm a little bit, but it being close to shore will also inhibit some of its development as well. And notice getting pretty close to Louisiana, heading toward the coast of Louisiana. I think that happens tomorrow once it kind of crawls on shore. So Futurecast for us, let's get back home. Through 8 o'clock, you got some evening plans to do, errands or something like that. No issues there. It's going to be warm. And then it's going to Thursday morning back to work. We've got some clouds in the sky, certainly some humidity. Little or no rain chance yet, but as we get into the remainder of the day, into the PM hours for coming home, still most of the rain will be to the south of us across our southern parishes. But as you go into the evening hours, it starts moving northward and increases in coverage there. So I got some details as far as your rainfall pattern coming up. And then once we get into tomorrow evening, we'll see rain chances continue. Once again, this is Friday morning. Most of the rain to the south of us. Remember, with tropical systems or semi-tropical systems, once they're on land at night, the convection hugs toward what kind of center that it can locate. Once we get during the day, it kind of spreads out some. That's why you're seeing this kind of pattern on the model. But you see, once we get into the daytime, it begins to spread out to the north once again. So there's going to be several repeated values of rainfall events, if you will, associated with this. So last bulletin from the National Hurricane Center had a 40% chance of this developing into a tropical cyclone, either a depression or a storm. So to their way of thinking, more likely than not, it's not going to develop into that, but there are a couple of scenarios where it could. So the overall setup here for today is the surface low, not too far offshore. In fact, I could probably put this a little bit farther to the north, came off around Panama City. And once we go into tomorrow, we'll see that actually tomorrow this is going to be on the Louisiana, southeast Louisiana coast here across the area. A lot of tropical moisture rotating in on the east side of it. Remember, that's where the circulation, the moist part of the circulation is. You go to the west in Texas, well, that's where the dry circulation will be. So the rain will be confined in areas near the system and to the east for the day tomorrow. And here are your possibilities with our spaghetti models showing that this is tracking through central Louisiana. Whatever is going to be coming through our area. So that has a lot to do with the forecast as well. So first thing is this raises a flash flood risk for the day tomorrow. And here's the local rainfall story that I'm going to support here. Timing will mostly be in the PM hours. You notice if you look at some of these rain chances to the north in our northern parishes, 30% for Sabine, 20% for Natchez, 30% for Wynn Parish. As you head south and east, it increases 80% for Allen Parish, 90% for St. Landry, 60, 70% for Avoyelles, and in Catahoula, Concordia, it looks like about a 50 to 60 there, and cross portions of Rapides, 50, maybe 60 in the southern portions or something like that. So that's your rainfall pattern for Thursday. This is day one of tropical influence, and it is influencing the rainfall pattern with these numbers. All right, so what about amounts? Well, a lot of variation. Some folks will get nothing out of this, especially in some of these areas to the north. There'll be some dry areas. So I'm going to say common amounts will be less than 1 inch, but especially to the south, across our southern parishes, I think 2 to 4 inches is possible in some of those locations. All right, so going into Friday, the risk of flash flooding increases to a level 3, according to the Weather Prediction Center. Tomorrow it's a 2, and by Friday it raises to a 3, and that day rain coverage will increase, rainfall amounts will increase, but I'm not going to do that specifically for today. I'll do it in general in just a bit, but I'll do it day by day. So once we get into tomorrow, I'll give you the details just like I just did, and I'll do that for Friday's situation. And then Saturday, we continue to see a risk of some locally heavy rainfall there, as we see rain likely one more day before things improve on Sunday. So the bottom line with AL93 is its designation right now. This is the most likely scenario I see, a disorganized but wet storm system. All right. The second scenario is it becomes a tropical cyclone, either depression or a weak tropical storm. So the Hurricane Center says 60% against that, 40% for it, and I'm on board with that. And as we can see with the spaghetti models, and I've seen with other models, it looks like it's going to track through central Louisiana, whatever it's going to be, with peak rainfall over 5 inches in places during that Thursday, Friday, Saturday accumulated time period. But there will be large differences across the area because of the disorganized nature of this thing. It breeds that very large range and rainfall totals. Many times it's over short distances, but you get an area the size of CenLA, there will definitely be some large differences associated with the pattern there. And again, I'm going to do that day by day. So your 7-day forecast of tropical influence starts tomorrow and intensifies Friday and continues on Saturday and then wanes on Sunday as rain chances, rainfall coverage drops that day. And in fact, as we look forward into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, little or no rain anticipated. Notice an uptick in temperatures. Looks like some pretty hot, muggy weather coming in where you're going to have some significant heat there once again, worse than typical for the latter part of July, to be honest with you. But getting back to the tropical influence, heavy to excessive rainfall possible there. Any of those days, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and any accumulation over 5 inches, certainly a good bet, and some forecasts that you're hearing are considerably more than that. So I'll leave it there for now. Nick Miklas will be waiting in the wings tomorrow morning. He loves to talk about this stuff, as I do, so he'll be with you. Be sure you catch his cast in the morning, his stream. I'll be with you sometime tomorrow evening with probably between 5 and 6 p.m. With my version of what's going on as well. So take care. Thanks for your support for CenLA Weather, and hope you're